I'd highly recommend it. It's kind of, at least my attempt so far, kind of explaining the intuition behind this.
Intuition is about money.
Yeah.
What at the highest level is money? What is money?
It's a kind of game, and it's a game where we have points, and if you have points, there's this one move where you can reduce your points by a number and increase someone else's points by the same number. And these...
So it's a fair game, hopefully.
Well, it's one kind of fair game. Like, for example, you can have other kinds of fair games. Like, you could have a game where if I give someone a point and you give someone a point, then instead of that person getting 2 points, that person gets 4 points. And that's also fair. But, money is easy to kind of set up, and it serves a lot of useful functions, and so it kind of just survives in society as a meme for thousands of years.
It's useful for the storage of wealth. It's useful for the exchange of value.
And it's also useful for denominating future payments.
Its role, or just the mechanisms of money, changed over time in your view? Even if we just look at the 20th century or before, and then leading up to cryptocurrencies. Is that something you think about?
Yeah, and I think the big thing in the 20th century is we saw a lot more intermediation, I guess. The first part is kind of the move from adding more of different kinds of banking, and then we saw the move from kind of dollars being backed by gold to dollars being backed by gold that's only redeemable by certain people, to dollars not being backed by anything, to kind of this system where you have a bunch of free floating currencies, and then people getting kind of bank accounts, and then those things becoming electronic, people getting accounts with payment processors that have bank accounts. So
what do you make of that? That's such a fascinating philosophical idea that money might not be backed by anything. What is that fascinating to you, that money can exist without being backed by something physical?
It definitely is.
What do you make of that? How is that possible? Is that stable? If you look at the future of human civilization, is it possible to have money at the large scale, at such a hugely productive and rich societies, be able to operate successfully without money being backed by anything physical?
I feel like the interesting thing about the 21st century especially is that a lot of the important, valuable things are not backed by anything. Like, if you look at tech companies, for example, like something like Twitter,
yes.
Right? You could theoretically imagine that if all of the employees wanted to, they could kind of come together, they would quit, and start working on Twitter 2.0, and then the value of and just kind of build the exact same product, or possibly build a better product, and then just kind of continue on from there. And the original Twitter would kind of just not have people left anymore, right? There is theoretically kind of code and IP that's owned by the company, but in reality, good programmers could probably rewrite all that stuff in 3 months. So the reason why the thing has value is just kind of network effects and coordination problems, right?